Senator Cameron, thanks very much for your time. You want a royal commission into the Catholic Church. How broad do you want the scope of it?
Well, the Royal Commission that I want is into child abuse in the Catholic Church, and I've heard arguments that it shouldn't just be the Catholic Church. If there's child abuse in other institutions, then I'd support that as well.
There is an argument by one of your own colleagues this morning saying it needs to be broad and look at institutions right across the board. Do you think there is a case for that?
Well, I think if there's one child being abused in Australia, that's one child too many. And if there is a need for a broad-based inquiry, we should do it. But the Catholic Church are just, up there in lights. They've themselves conceded that 600 child abuse cases that they know of took place in Victoria. And last year things got better. There was only 20 cases of child abuse. That's unbelievable.
What do you make of the way that Cardinal Pell has handled the situation? Do you think he's handled it sufficiently appropriately?
No, not very well at all. I think the Cardinal needs to have a very good look at the future of the Catholic Church and the credibility of the Catholic Church in this country. And if there's concessions that 600 cases of child abuse happened in Victoria, that's what they know, it's not saying what they don't know, then there's a need for an inquiry. If I was Cardinal Pell, I would be saying, I've got nothing to fear. If that's the case, if he's got nothing to fear, he should simply say, let's have the Royal Commission.
Would you be concerned, though, that it might impinge upon inquiries that are already underway? There are inquiries underway at the state level, both in New South Wales and Victoria.
No, I wouldn't, because these inquiries, the New South Wales inquiries are very narrow-based inquiry. The Victorian inquiry is a bit wider, but many of these priests in Victoria would have moved elsewhere around the country. So it's a national issue. It's a stain on society in Australia, and we need to deal with it on a national basis.
It's actually, there's international issue in many respects, though, isn't it? It's been a problem right across the board.
But we can only look at the national issues here, and the government should look at it. Now, the Catholic Church is immensely powerful, immensely politically powerful. So there will be a pushback, and we've already seen some politicians sort of, hedge their bets on this. I think every politician should simply come out and say, deal with this. It's about children's welfare. Let's deal with it, get it out, and deal with it now. So
you would call on the Prime Minister to announce a Royal Commission today?
Oh, well, maybe not today, but I'd ask the Prime Minister to, yes, announce a Royal Commission, whether it's today or in the next few days, get the terms of reference out there, make sure that children in this country are protected. And that's the fundamental part of this. It's not about the Catholic Church. It's not about other organisations. It's simply about protecting children.
Would anything short of a Royal Commission satisfy you?
No, I think a Royal Commission is well and truly warranted. That's what victims are calling for. That's what victim support groups are calling for. A Royal Commission, I think, is appropriate. There's been Royal Commissions into less important things than this, I must say.
Okay, and one final issue I want to ask you about. There's the Treasury Secretary, a former Treasury Secretary, has suggested it's inevitable that the base of the GST will have to broaden at some point. Do you think that is the case? I know you've argued for an extended mining tax and various other ways to broaden the base. Do you think it's inevitable the GST will head in that direction as well?
I don't. I think business are out there calling for a widening of the GST base. They want ordinary workers in this country to accept the burden of increased taxation. My view is that business should increase their contribution. If we're going to have a decent society in this country, business have to pay their fair share, and we've seen how the miners behave in terms of their contribution. They don't make a good economic contribution. They don't make a good social contribution, and we should look at them before we start, hitting the ordinary punter even harder.
Senator Cameron, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Good, thanks.